Rising from the flames of its defeat, the giant bird looks down upon you with disappointed eyes, ready to smite you for your selfish actions. Hello and welcome to Harvesting Monsters. Today we're going to be talking about the Phoenix, the legendary creature that can revive itself after it's been destroyed. These are very popular in fantasy. We see it in Harry Potter. In Magic the Gathering, there's always some sort of Phoenix. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Um, but in Pathfinder, the Phoenix is a CR15 creature, a fiery flame, and it's good aligned. This creature has flame shroud, sharp talons, beaks, and it's very perceptive. So let's break it down and see what we can pick up from this creature. We're going to start at number, well, 11. So you may have noticed that the chart I have is a little bit bigger than usual. We're going to be using a 2 dice 6 random chart. So it's still going to make a bell curve, but there is um, larger variance and more possibilities. So again, we're still going to do nothing, and we are going to do roll twice more. Getting nothing and roll twice more is going to be a 1 of 36 chance. So out of every one out of 36 rolls, you can more or less think that one of them will be a 2 or a 12. All right, so we got a few different things. Let's start over here. We'll start at number 3. We're going to start with the Phoenix Down. Now, the Phoenix Down, you might know from Kingdom Hearts or um, Final Fantasy, the one that it actually came from. It actually revives people. It's the item that you use to bring people back from the dead. Um, Down is the soft underfeathers of a bird. So we're going to put the Phoenix down here. And what does it cost? Well, it costs 7,250 gold pieces. So it's a one-time use item. So the way we calculate that out, we take the caster level times the spell level. So 9 times 5. And then we multiply that by 50 because it's one times use. All right. And then that would give us 2,250. But because Raise Dead has a spell component of a diamond worth at least 500 or 5,000 gold pieces, we have to factor that into the cost. So that's where that comes from. On the topic of diamonds, I actually want to talk about the next one, the diamond gizzard. So birds, they often eat stones to help them digest plant matter. Uh, so that they don't, so they're able to get all the nutrients out of it. So they'll pick at stones. You'll see chickens do this. They'll pick up stones and swallow them. And I kind of put a little twist on that because the Phoenix has a lot of restoration abilities and can self-resurrect, and all of those have diamond material components. I think this is a cool way to uh, add in that material component to them. So they often eat diamonds so that they can cast Restore on themselves or resurrect themselves. Now, we're going to put a die 4 of them, and they're going to be worth 2 die 10 times 100 GP. So they can be worth up to 1,000 gold pieces. All right. Next, it is a bird. So we're going to give them some hollow bones. Now the hollow bones are probably not the best weapons, but you could use them. If you wanted to give something like haste, weapon haste, maybe make it out of phoenix bone. So like a flaming hasty sword made out of phoenix bone, that would make sense. That'd be a really cool weapon. All right. Although I am jumping a little bit ahead talking about the abilities, um, but we're going to get back to that. I'm going to reel it back in. So you can get a die 4 bones, and those will cost 200 GP each. And they'll weigh 1 pound each. Next, the talons. So they use these to attack, um, and they are flame wreathed. So probably pretty valuable. They have 2 feet, so a die 2 times 500. Now we're in the middle. The most probable thing to get, I think, is the Holy Cinders. Not only does it have a really cool name, but the Holy Cinders are kind of what gives it the protection. They have regeneration, which is stopped by evil attacks. They have damage reduction, which is stopped by evil attacks, making these like a really good creature. Like only devils can actually harm them. Um, which we can go into a whole topic about that, how like devils and angels can only hurt each other, get past each other's damage reduction. um, but it's very interesting. But this is kind of where it comes from. So a die 6 pounds, and they weigh 300 GP each. And for those wondering who use the metric system, a pound is about half a kilo. Yeah. So I think 2.2 pounds equals 1 kilogram. So if you want to do that translation, you can do that. Uh, Next, the beak. The beaks and talons are, I feel like, equally salvageable. A lot of these parts that the creatures use to attack, I feel like do get damaged a lot, which is why you don't get them. It's going to be worth 500 GP. Next, flaming feathers. So we talked about the down. Now let's talk about like the actual flying feathers. The flaming feathers. This is from the wings, and they are going to be. You can get 2 die 4, so kind of a lot, and they're worth 500 GP each. Now you can see that these prices are a lot higher than some other things that I've done. That's because, well, the Phoenix is a CR15 creature. It's going to have a lot of valuable stuff. Now, next, I talked about how they're super perceptive creatures, so their eyes are going to be very valuable. And they're actually going to run a die 2. I only put 200 gold pieces on my notes, but feel free to bump that up. I'm actually going to put those up to like 1,000 GP. I don't know why they're 200 on my chart. I'll have to go through and fix that before I post this video. But they're very valuable, 1,000 gold pieces each. And lastly, this is something I stole. I don't really know the legend behind it, but the Phoenix Tail. Phoenix Tail. Um, the story I'm pulling from is the Pokemon retelling. So at the beginning of Pokemon, Ash sees Ho-Oh, the Phoenix Pokemon, and those people who see Ho-Oh, you're supposed to get your wish. So seeing a phoenix is supposed to give you a wish. And Ho-Oh has this beautiful tail that leaves behind a rainbow. So I think a phoenix tail is something pretty valuable. It's going to weigh 20 pounds, and it's going to be worth 2,000 GP. We'll make this worth 500. We're going to go back and forth. It's very hard to suss out what their valuableness is. Maybe I won't change it. So it can be worth anywhere from 200 to 1,000 gold pieces, depending on how much you value what the eyes could do. And saying that, let's jump into the next segment where we talk about the Phoenix's abilities and what these parts convey. All right, so the Phoenix down. Start there. Super easy. It's a magic item. It casts Raise Dead once per day. That's all it does. You can't use it for anything else because it's already a magic item. Diamond Gizzards. So they have all the abilities that Diamond has, and I should make a video in the future like going through what each gemstone abilities they can confer, because I feel like gemstones are a very common magical item to be used. Not magical item, magical component. So they also for self-resurrection and any restoration abilities. Self-resurrection and restoration abilities. Now the hollow bones, they're for flight, they're for speed. So your haste enchantments, flight, speed, a weapon material. That's where it's going to come in. Talons, also weapon material, but they also deal flame damage. So we're going to put that down. The Holy Cinders, that's going to be your regeneration and your protection from, or not protection, but damage reduction. and probably protection from evil. Proc evil. The beak, kind of the same as the talons, just different where you get them from. It's okay to have things overlap if you want. It kind of adds a little bit more. I didn't want to have 11 slots for this, so I kind of split some things up. Like originally, the beak and talons were one thing, but I couldn't figure out a good uh, item. So if you think of a good item, maybe leave it down in the comments below and add it to your own. Next, the flaming feathers. So your flame shroud, flight. Those are probably very good things for the flaming feathers to do. Eyes, perception. They get +8 racial bonus on their perception. They also have see invisibility, and they have detect poison and detect magic. So they can detect a whole bunch of things. Poison, magic. They see everything. Um, I haven't seen like a magical beast that can detect this many things. Usually that's reserved for like angels and devils who can see all these sorts of things. But again, that's really hinting at the angelic nature of this phoenix. Um, you could call him Bird Jesus. If anyone uh, has played or watched Twitch Plays Pokemon, this is Bird Jesus, and I hope that you can incorporate that into your own game. And then the Phoenix Tail. This is going to be for luck and wishes. So it could be a wish spell component. It could be things for like luck bonuses on saves. Um, and the reason why luck bonuses are important is because they stack with other bonuses. All right, let's move on. Now that we have all this done, let's actually make an item. And man, I love the item that I made for this creature. Now, let's get into this item that I made. It's called the Bengal Gauntlet. Now, the Bengal Gauntlet is a very interesting item. So, I wanted to incorporate a lot of different things. I wanted to incorporate the lightness of the phoenix. I wanted to incorporate its flaming presence. I wanted to incorporate its regenerative abilities. I wanted to incorporate how holy it seems to be. So, I started off with a +1 flaming mithril spiked gauntlets. Now you might be asking, Malix, why is it made of mithril? Mithril is usually for armor, so that you can be lighter. It counts as one size category lower. Well, when a weapon's made of mithril, it counts as silver damage, and silver damage is needed to get past like the damage reductions of devils and lots of undead. So that's what's kind of giving this holiness. It represents a certain amount of purity and holiness. Um, so what that's going to cost us right away, it's a +2 weapon, so it's going to be 4,000. Remember, I'm using my house rules and how I'm going to calculate it out. And I have magic weapons cost the same as magic armor because I don't feel like you should emphasize attacking as more important than defense. A lot of people do, but it does make it a little bit easier for people to get those attacking bonuses to overcome damage reduction of other creatures, to deal more damage. For a creature who doesn't have an optimized strength score, they can get a magical weapon more easily to kind of counterbalance out their stats. So we got 4,000 there. To make a mithril thing, it's 500 gold pieces per pound. Spiked gauntlets, 1 pound. So we got that. And then they weigh 5. The masterwork is already in the mithril. So this is what we're starting out with. So it's already kind of up there at a level 3 item. But that's not it. I have some other good stuff that I want to bring into it. So they have a once a day activation. Now this once a day activation, it's going to, when you activate it, it's going to cast Cure Mana Runes on yourself, 2nd level spell, and it's also going to cast Lesser Restoration on yourself. So you're going to heal yourself when you activate this item, Lesser Resto. In addition, When you activate this gauntlet, when you activate those healing abilities, the gauntlet gains uh, two abilities. It gains two powerful abilities, might add. Brilliant Energy. And I think this really captures the spectacle of the Phoenix. Now, Brilliant Energy causes it to glow bright, and it allows it to pass through armor and inanimate objects. So if you're versing the big bad evil guy and they're heavily armored, Brilliant Energy just ignores that. They don't get their armor bonus. They don't get their shield bonus. And this is a +4 bonus to it. Now, the other thing I wanted to add was Flaming Burst, which is a +2 bonus. And normally, rules as written, it says that if you have Flaming and Flaming Burst, the flaming damage can't stack. I don't like that. I'm going to throw it out because I do want the more interesting, unique items to be given to the players as rewards. So I kind of give these, I break the rules as the DM to give my players better rewards. I feel rule breaking should be used as rewards to the players. Okay, so Flaming Burst kicks it from a +2 weapon to a +8 weapon. And if we look at +8, that's going to be a 64,000 cost. Now, it's going to be a little bit difficult because we can only do this for 1 minute once a day. Now, what does that mean? So how can we figure this out? So I actually took a look at a different item called the Oath Bow. Now, the Oath Bow goes from a +2 composite longbow to a +5 composite longbow with an increased critical and an extra die 6 damage when it's activated. So the increased crit damage and the extra 2 die 6 damage is a +1 and a +1. The Bane effect and like an increased critical effect. And then we have +3. So you can calculate it out. It actually comes pretty close to what we're going to do here. So +8, it's going to be 64,000. We're going to subtract the 4,000 from that to get 60,000. Now that's what this is going to cost. This is going to cost 60,000. And we're going to use that when we're adding all our modifiers. And then this one, super easy. 2 times 3 times 180. No, 1,800. I always do that. And they're both second level spells. So we're going to do that. So let's bring down our formula right here. 60,000. Now it's once per day for 1 minute. So we're going to do times 1/5. I'm going to put our plus sign here because there's 2 more lines. 2 times 3 times 1,800. Also once per day. And it's a different ability than this. So we're going to put times 1.5. And then we're going to do the same thing because they're both second level spells. But because restoration is kind of like cure moderate wounds, I'm actually going to multiply that one by 0.75. It doesn't hurt the price that much, but it is kind of important to see. To do that, we calculate it out. We get 16,860. And we take that and we're going to add this number to it, 4,505. And that's going to give us a grand total of 21,365 gold pieces. And that's the Bengal Gauntlets. That's what they look like. You should come up with a command word for this item. I actually have a command gesture. You have to raise your hand to the sky and point at the sky to activate the gauntlet. When you do that, your hand becomes glowing with the brilliant energy and the extra fire, and you're ready to smite some bad dudes. Key note before you use this item, do know that when something becomes brilliant energy, it can't damage undead, which is a little bit of a flavor fail, but I just wanted it to just start glowing like you're like a rising star. Alright, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share with your friends. Leave a comment down below about anything you think I got wrong, or even if you, especially if you want to see me do another item, another creature, what they drop, what kind of item you can make from their body. And the next video is going to be something very special, something to celebrate me getting a new microphone to make that sound quality just a little bit better. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.